You have 15 minutes. A severe spiritual threat is moving toward you right now, set by two people you know. To receive the warning and the protection, you must subscribe your spirit to this message. Do not just listen. Choose to connect. Your safety depends on it. Warning from heaven. Archangel Michael says something serious is moving into your life right now. Jesus is commanding you to open this before the next 15 minutes are gone. My child, my beloved, before you take another breath, I need you to understand that this message has been stopped from reaching you more than once. But heaven overruled. And now finally it has found its way to you. You didn't stumble upon this. It was orchestrated because something serious is already moving into your life and you can't see it yet. But we can. I, Michael, the Archangel of Protection, have been standing guard over your path. I've been intercepting the darkness trying to reach you. But today, what's coming is different. It's not just a shadow. It's a consequence of decisions others are making behind your back. This is why Jesus himself is commanding this message to be opened before the next 15 minutes are gone. Because what unfolds after that will either bless you beyond what your soul can imagine or bruise you in ways you're not ready for. You must not ignore this. My child, my beloved, there are two people involved in what is about to unfold. One of them knows you deeply. The other envies you in silence, but both of them are connected to your life in a way that allows them access to what they should never have touched. And I am not speaking in riddles. I am speaking plainly now because heaven has waited long enough. The reason your money feels blocked, the reason your joy feels delayed, the reason your sleep feels disturbed is because of something hidden, something silent, something that wears a familiar face but carries a deceiving intention. And I was not allowed to speak this before. But now, by divine order, I must reveal what has been seen in heaven's records. My child, my beloved, before I go further, I ask you to stop and listen to the whisper in your spirit. You feel it, don't you? That strange sense of urgency. That feeling that you're being pulled towards something important, but you don't know what. That's not anxiety. That's heaven trying to shake you awake. That's the voice of God brushing against your heart saying, don't walk away from this again. You have skipped messages before and thought maybe later. But this one is different. This is not just about inspiration. This is about intervention. This is a divine interception designed to prevent a tragedy you won't recover from easily. My child, my beloved, if your soul knows this is for you, if your spirit is stirring right now, then subscribe to this voice of heaven immediately. Not just to hear more messages, but so heaven knows that you're listening. Because what comes next is the part they tried to stop. But God says, release it. My child, my beloved, there's a hidden place where your name has been spoken, not in prayer, but in strategy, and that's what changes everything. You see, when a person speaks your name in love, it brings favor. But when a person speaks your name in selfishness, it creates a ripple of resistance. And two people connected by blood or bonded by time have made choices that were never theirs to make about what belongs to you. I don't want to frighten you. I want to prepare you because I have seen what's coming if this continues unchecked. One of them is draining your favor spiritually through silent jealousy, through bitter agreement with voices that want to limit you. And the other has already taken something that had your name on it, a blessing, a portion, an opportunity you were meant to receive. They intercepted it. But heaven is ready to reverse it all if you follow this next part closely. My child, my beloved, there is a reason you feel like your blessings are always close but never quite in your hands. There is a reason it feels like you're fighting something invisible. And now I'm exposing it. Your life is under surveillance, not by the government, but by spiritual forces who want to delay your inheritance because they know once you touch what God has written in your name, you won't be controlled anymore. Once you rise, you'll set others free. That's why they want to keep you struggling. But that ends tonight. Not by accident, but by awakening, by obedience, by stepping into divine instruction and not second-guessing it. This time, heaven is preparing a reversal. But your agreement is the key that unlocks it. My child, my beloved, the reason this message is urgent is not just because of what's happening around you, but because of what's happening within you. Your spirit has been under pressure lately, unexplainable weight, strange thoughts, unpredictable emotions, sudden fears you can't trace. And now you know why something has been circling your life for weeks. It wasn't allowed to touch you until today. And that's why this message could not wait, because the moment this spiritual threshold is crossed, what was hidden will become visible. If you don't act before that moment, you will lose your chance to protect what is rightfully yours. I say this not as a warning to scare you, but as a divine announcement from heaven's throne. Jesus himself is watching what you will do in the next few minutes. That's how serious this is. Heaven doesn't send a message like this unless the soul it's meant for is walking dangerously close to something that must be stopped. And right now, beloved, that soul is you. My child, my beloved, let me reveal the part no one wants to admit. Sometimes the deepest betrayal doesn't come from enemies. It comes from the ones who know your soft spots. It comes from the ones you grew up trusting. The ones who pretend to support you but secretly sabotage your peace. One of them is about to be revealed to you. Not through drama but through spiritual clarity. This person has been holding your name in their mouth while smiling in your face. They've been asking questions about your future that they have no right to ask. They've been speaking to someone else about your money, your life, your dreams, and they've painted a picture that puts them in your seat. That's what heaven showed me. They don't want you to succeed. They want to control where your blessing goes. And they've started making decisions on your behalf without your permission. But I've come to take it back. Not with revenge, with revelation. Because God does not expose to embarrass. He exposes to protect. My child, my beloved, you've been feeling like something is about to happen, and you're right. But what you didn't know is that two versions of your future are now being weighed in the spirit realm. One version includes breakthrough, favor, joy, peace, and a reversal of every hardship you've faced. The other version includes more delay, more confusion, and an open door for those who wish to take what was never theirs. What determines which version unfolds is your decision in this exact moment. Your awareness, your spiritual yes. This message is not a warning to panic. It's a divine choice. And heaven is watching to see what you will do. My child, my beloved, your name has power. Not just on earth, but in heaven. And even in hell, they tremble when your name is spoken with authority. But lately, your name has been spoken with envy, with criticism, with hidden plans attached to it. Someone close to you has used your name not in prayer, but in control. They have tried to manipulate how others see you. And worse, they've manipulated how you see yourself. But that stops today because I am ripping the mask off their intentions. I am exposing what was said in secret. Not to shame, but to protect, not to cause conflict, but to give you freedom. The truth is being released so you can be released. My child, my beloved, there is a reason why you've been stuck in cycles. Why the same struggle keeps repeating. Why blessings seem to come so close only to vanish. It's because you've been surrounded by people who speak in circles, empty words with no spiritual power. And without realizing it, you gave them access to your sacred space. But now God is reclaiming that space. He is cleaning the spiritual atmosphere around your life. The people who do not belong in your next chapter are being spiritually removed one by one. And if it hurts, let it, because this pain is protection. This pruning is preparation. You are not being punished. You are being purified. My child, my beloved, I saw what they planned for you. I saw the dates they circled. I saw the conversation where they said, "Don't worry, they'll never find out." I saw the account that was supposed to be yours. I saw the money that had your name spiritually tagged. I saw the door that was being locked behind your back. But I also saw God slam his hand on the table and say, "No more." I saw him stand up and declare over you, "That's enough. Restore what was stolen." And now I come to you with that decree in my hands. But I cannot deliver what you do not receive. I cannot restore what you won't claim. And I cannot protect what you refuse to acknowledge. My child, my beloved, the next few hours of your life are going to determine the next few years. Yes, it's that serious. What you choose to see, believe, and act on today will decide if you walk in overflow or continue in opposition. That's why Jesus said this message must reach you now, not later. Later is too dangerous. Later may be too late. The spiritual momentum is already building. Your angels are already moving. Your name is already being reviewed by the council of heaven. This is not just a message. It is a spiritual rescue. And you were chosen to receive it. My child, my beloved, there is a light trying to break through your darkness right now. And I know you can feel it. The air around your life is shifting. Something invisible has begun to stir. It is not just coincidence. It is not just emotion. It is heaven moving, breathing, speaking directly into your soul through this moment. And I, Archangel Michael, have been sent to guard this moment so it cannot be interrupted. Because the decision you make after reading this, whether you open your heart fully or scroll past quickly, will be remembered in the spirit realm. It will decide if what was blocked will be released or rerouted. That is why this is urgent. That is why Jesus has commanded this message to reach you before the next 15 minutes are gone. Not to frighten you, but to save you from losing what you've already waited too long for. My child, my beloved, you must understand how rare this is. Heaven does not open messages like this for everyone. This was not broadcast to the world. It was whispered into the hands of angels and delivered to only a few. Because what is at stake in your life is not small. There is an entire future forming. One that changes not just your finances, not just your reputation, but the direction of your lineage. Yes, this goes far beyond you. What you do now will affect the generations after you. There is a blessing trying to enter your home that doesn't just bless you. It breaks every curse that has sat over your family for decades. But the blessing will not enter a home filled with hidden betrayal. And that's why this message had to come first. My child, my beloved, I saw it. I saw the moment the blessing was scheduled to fall. I saw the exact time the door was going to open. I saw the favor that was heading to your bank account, to your relationships, to your body, to your dreams. And I saw something else, a figure, silent and close, standing at the edge, trying to take it before it reached you. This person didn't look like a thief. They looked familiar. That's what makes this dangerous. They didn't come with loud accusations. They came with quiet entitlement. And they've slowly positioned themselves to receive what they know deep down was meant for you. But now the truth is being unsealed. My child, my beloved, some of the pain you've been carrying lately isn't even yours. It's the result of other people's spiritual choices leaking into your life. You've been absorbing confusion that didn't originate in your own heart. You've been feeling heaviness that's not even connected to your path. It's because someone who's supposed to support you is spiritually connected to you, but not aligned with God's plan for you. They are out of alignment and it is affecting your peace, your clarity, and your ability to move forward. But today, heaven is granting you the gift of spiritual separation. You will begin to feel distance not as rejection but as redirection. You will begin to see people for who they truly are, not to judge them, but to discern them because you cannot carry everyone into your destiny. Especially not those secretly carrying plans to delay you. My child, my beloved, there are conversations happening behind closed doors and they're not about your good. Someone is asking, what if they never find out? But heaven already has. That's why this message is reaching you at the exact second it's supposed to. This is not about guessing or suspicion. This is about evidence from the spirit realm. The records are clear. The plans are set. The darkness has marked a date. But God just interrupted it because your name is still written in light. Because your promise is still secure. Because what belongs to you spiritually, financially, emotionally can still be restored. But only if you see what's coming before it hits. Only if you hear the voice of the one sent to protect you. And I'm shouting louder now than ever before. Because the time is almost gone. And if you delay, you'll miss the shift. My child, my beloved, you keep wondering why some things are always just out of reach. Why the money comes and disappears, why the good news arrives and then suddenly turns to confusion. It's not just bad luck. It's not just life. It's interference. It's sabotage. And the reason you haven't seen it is because they've been doing it through smiles, through quiet withdrawals, through disguised concern. But heaven doesn't look at appearances. Heaven looks at heart motives. And what we've seen is a scheme to keep you stuck. But God is tired of watching you suffer while pretending to be strong. You've held it in long enough. And now heaven is releasing a divine rescue, but only if you obey the voice speaking to you right now. You may never get this moment again. My child, my beloved, I will say this clearly. The financial blessing you've been waiting for has already been written with your name. But it was intercepted, diverted, not by mistake, but by someone who believed you would never notice. Someone who saw how close you were to stepping into increase and got afraid. And instead of blessing you, they blocked you. But this message is your unblocking. This is your reversal. This is your moment of reclamation. The wealth that was diverted will be restored. The door that was shut will be opened. The peace that was stolen will return. But you must not scroll past this. You must not say, "I'll come back to it later." Because spiritual windows don't stay open forever. And this one is closing in less than 15 minutes. Heaven is waiting to see if you'll act or ignore. My child, my beloved, you've been strong for too long, and heaven has seen every silent tear you've cried when no one was looking. You've tried to tell yourself it's going to be okay. You've smiled through the storms. You've prayed even when your faith felt small. And now is the time when that faith must speak louder than fear. Because I, Archangel Michael, have been sent not to comfort you only, but to alert you. A spiritual danger is walking toward you wearing a familiar face. And what makes it dangerous is not just its presence, but its timing. Because right now, you are closer than you've ever been to divine breakthrough. The moment your name is supposed to be called for restoration, for abundance, for divine justice, that is the exact moment the enemy sends confusion disguised as affection. And unless you discern what's happening, you will welcome in what was meant to be cast out. That is why I was commanded by the Most High to warn you before the next 15 minutes are gone. Because the shift is already happening. This is your window. This is your escape. This is your rescue wrapped in a message that may not come again. My child, my beloved, do you feel the strange heaviness that entered your home recently? The way your atmosphere feels different. The way your peace feels disturbed. The way you second-guess things that used to feel clear. That is not a coincidence. That is spiritual pollution. Something has been spiritually placed in your path to delay and detour, but God allowed you to feel it so you would wake up to it. That's why your soul has felt so uneasy. That's why your dreams have been intense. Because what's coming is not just another small storm. It's a setup meant to rob you of what was written with your name in heaven. And now the alarm is sounding. I know this message feels strong. I know it's unlike anything you've heard before. But that's because it's not meant to entertain you. It's meant to awaken you. I am not here to scare you. I'm here to save you. If you wait too long, you'll understand the message only through pain. But if you act now, you will understand it through miracle. My child, my beloved, I must tell you the truth with no filter. The divine money that was supposed to enter your life has been touched. Touched by people who said they were for you. Touched by people who laughed with you, but cried out behind your back because they couldn't handle your light. These people are not strangers. That's what makes this betrayal so dangerous. They are close. One pretends to admire you. The other pretends to protect you, but neither of them truly want you to walk in your full power. And now they have laid their hands spiritually on what does not belong to them, your inheritance, your provision, your destiny. But listen carefully. Their hands can still be removed if your eyes are opened in time. My child, my beloved, do you remember that opportunity you thought you missed? That job that vanished? That deal that collapsed? That unexpected financial struggle that hit you hard for no reason? You thought it was random. You blamed yourself, but it was not your fault. It was interference. Someone put their energy, their eyes, their control over your open door and it slammed shut. But heaven has kept record and now it is being reopened. And the best part, the new door will be bigger. It will come without the strings. It will arrive faster than the last time. But only if you move with God now. Only if you don't let this moment become just another message you scroll past. This is not motivation. This is divine movement. My child, my beloved, there is someone watching your life and trying to copy your steps, mirror your voice, study your progress, not because they admire you, but because they want what was meant for you. And the truth is, they were never supposed to even know about the blessing, but someone close to you told them. Someone from your own circle shared private things about your calling with someone who had no right to touch it. And now there's a copy spirit circling you. A person trying to move into the spot God reserved only for you. But what they don't know is that heaven does not reward impersonators. God blesses the original. And you, beloved, are the original. No one can carry your light the way you do. No one can replace the oil that was poured on your name. But if you stay silent, if you stay asleep, if you delay this awakening, they'll take what should have been yours. My child, my beloved, I see your exhaustion. I see the way you've tried so hard to stay positive even when nothing makes sense. I see the way you pour into others and get poured out. I see the way you feel forgotten by the same people you've been loyal to. And I know it hurts, but heaven is not blind. God has been watching every seed you've sown in silence. Every tear you've cried in private, every moment you smiled while secretly suffering. And child, it's not in vain. The reward that's coming will silence every mocker, expose every pretender, and elevate you without your enemies understanding how. But first, this moment must be honored. My child, my beloved, you've been asking for a sign, a clear word, something that doesn't feel confusing, something you can hold on to. And God says, this is it. This message is not a coincidence. It's not a vague warning. It's not generic. It is sacred, specific, and it carries your rescue. What I am delivering to you now is not just truth. It is spiritual evidence, a confirmation of what your heart already sensed. You've been carrying a weight because you're carrying destiny. You've been attacked more than others because your life changes others. And now the attack ends. But only if you listen. Only if you act. Only if you open your hands and say, God, I receive what you are sending through Michael right now. My child, my beloved, you are not broken. You are being rebuilt. You are not late. You are being aligned. You are not forgotten. You are being reserved. But the question is, do you believe that? Because heaven believes in you more than you've believed in yourself lately. And that's why this message had to come now before the 15 minutes vanish, before your moment passes, before the enemy takes one more step. You've been delayed enough. You've cried long enough. You've waited faithfully. And now heaven moves for you. My child, my beloved, there is a spiritual gate opening in your life at this very hour. And I must say this with all the urgency heaven has placed in me. If you do not walk through this gate before it closes, everything you've been waiting for will be handed to someone else. Yes, I said someone else. Not because God wants to replace you, but because your time-sensitive blessing cannot stay suspended in limbo any longer. Heaven is shifting positions, redistributing favor, and what was meant for you is on the move. If your spirit responds, it will come back to you. If your heart hesitates, it will pass by. This is not a moment to wait and see. This is a moment to open your eyes and claim what you've prayed for through tears. My child, my beloved, I was not sent to entertain you. I was not sent to inspire you for a moment. I was sent to intervene. This message is a spiritual intervention disguised as words. There are angels standing around you right now, waiting for your response. One of them carries your name written in gold. The other two were sent to block what was headed toward you if you delay no further. But the power of what heaven does next is directly tied to your obedience. This is why Jesus is commanding you to respond before the next 15 minutes pass. Because after that what was ready to fall into your hands may be redirected elsewhere. The blessing is too powerful to be left unclaimed and you are the only one who can unlock it. My child, my beloved, there are forces watching you that have been assigned only one task. Delay. Not destroy. Delay. Because the enemy knows that if he can delay you long enough, you will lose momentum, question your purpose, doubt your calling, and walk away before the miracle reaches you. But that plan is collapsing right now because this divine message has pierced through the veil of spiritual distraction. You are not confused. You are being awakened. And I am here not as a distant angel with wings of gold, but as your assigned protector, your defender, your divine messenger with fire in my voice and urgency in my hands. What I carry for you is sacred, but I cannot force it on you. It must be received freely. My child, my beloved, there are conversations happening right now, phone calls, messages, silent agreements that mention your name in ways that break heaven's heart. They do not see your pain. They do not understand your purpose. And worse, they do not care if your blessing gets destroyed as long as they benefit. One of these people has convinced themselves they deserve what was meant for you. They've told themselves lies about you to feel better about what they are doing. And the other one, they are standing silently letting it happen just so they don't lose favor in the eyes of the first. But child, silence in betrayal is still betrayal. And heaven sees both. You are not being paranoid. You are being awakened. My child, my beloved, there are spiritual forces that move through bloodlines. And some of them are jealous spirits, spirits that look for the most favored child in the family and try to block that child's inheritance. You were born with a light. You were born with a calling. And whether your family knew how to name it or not, they felt it. That's why some of them treated you differently. That's why you were misunderstood, underestimated, doubted. But the truth is, they could sense what you didn't yet know. That you were the one. The one through whom heaven would do something extraordinary. And now that you've come close to fulfilling that, the spirits that hated your light since birth are rising. Not through strangers, but through familiar voices. But do not fear because I was sent for this exact moment. I was sent to shut it down before it spreads further. My child, my beloved, listen to me. The delay you've been experiencing is not normal. The frustration in your finances, the confusion in your decisions, the strange fatigue over your spirit. These are symptoms of spiritual tampering. Someone has been interfering with what God ordained to flow freely. And it's not witchcraft in the way you might imagine. It's manipulation. It's envy wrapped in politeness. It's false concern hiding selfish intent. And heaven has had enough. God is about to place divine fire between you and every false connection. But your role is simple. Believe this message. Don't scroll. Don't doubt. Don't delay. Because the protection, the breakthrough, the restoration, it's already being released, but only to the one who responds. My child, my beloved, you've asked God for answers. You've begged for clarity. You've fasted, prayed, waited, and wondered why no reply came. But now it's here. This is the reply. This is the download from heaven. This is the moment your obedience will unlock what was locked for years. The money, the opportunities, the home, the relationship, the healing, they are not gone. They were paused, suspended, blocked until your awareness was restored. And now that your eyes are opening, so is the flow. But only if you don't return to blindness. Only if you act in the light you've just been given. This is why the message had to be urgent. Because this is your rescue window. After this, there may not be another. My child, my beloved, you must understand how precious you are to God. The enemy didn't waste time attacking someone without purpose. You were targeted because you are chosen. Your life carries weight in the spirit realm. And every time you speak, every time you pray, every time you breathe hope into the air, heaven celebrates and hell trembles. That's why it's been hard. Not because you're weak, but because your power terrifies the ones who feed on darkness. And now you are standing on a line. One step forward and everything changes. One hesitation and the opportunity dissolves. You cannot afford to be casual with this message. You cannot afford to say maybe later. This is not later. This is now. My child, my beloved, there are moments in life when time feels like it stops, when something so divine brushes against your soul that you can't move past it. That moment is now. You may not realize this yet, but this message is not just here to inform you. It is here to interrupt something dark that was heading straight into your life. You are standing at a thin veil, a line between being spiritually robbed or divinely redirected. And it all depends on what you choose to do after reading this next part. Because even now, the spirits that were assigned to steal your peace are becoming agitated. They can feel that your awareness is increasing, that your clarity is growing, that your protection is activating, and they know they only have minutes left to try and keep you distracted. But heaven has already chosen to intervene. My child, my beloved, let me take you deeper. There is a document in heaven that bears your name, a spiritual contract, a promise, a reward, something that was meant to be handed to you before the end of last year, but it was postponed. Not because you were unworthy, not because you were late, but because someone who was close to you spiritually interfered. Their words, their intentions, their jealousy clouded your space. They said the right things in public, but in private they questioned your worthiness. They doubted your rise. They feared your favor. And they uttered words, cursed whispers, not knowing that heaven heard them all. Those words formed clouds. And those clouds dimmed the light that was meant to shine clearly on your path. But child, the clouds are clearing now because this message is breaking the barrier that was keeping you stuck. My child, my beloved, when you were a child, heaven already knew what you were born to carry. That's why your path has felt heavy. That's why people have always seen something in you, even when you didn't see it in yourself. But now the wait has a reason. You're at the doorway, the threshold. And what comes next is not just about money. It's about power, peace, purpose. You were never meant to live a normal life. You were always meant to be a divine carrier. Someone who would change the story for generations. That's why the battle has been this fierce. That's why the attack has been this specific. But now heaven is stepping in. I've seen the spiritual blueprint and I know what God is trying to release to you. But here's the truth. If you don't remove the hidden interference, you'll delay the divine release. Not because God doesn't love you, but because He respects your choice. My child, my beloved, you've been praying for increase, but heaven is more concerned about protection. Because what good is overflow if the people around you are secretly creating leaks? What good is promotion if the foundation is broken? And so I was told to pause your blessings, not to punish you, but to shield you. Because what was meant to enter your life would have been stolen again. But this time, instead of letting it happen, God is confronting it. Right now, through this exact message. That's why your spirit is alert. That's why your heart is beating faster. You are being invited to walk in divine awareness. You are being invited to partner with heaven. And the miracle that was held back will be released the moment your spirit says, I receive this instruction. My child, my beloved, stop blaming yourself for every delay. Stop thinking you're cursed. You are not cursed. You are chosen. That's why they fought you. That's why they gossiped about you. That's why they tried to copy you. That's why they wanted to ruin you. Because even in your lowest season, you still carried divine evidence. But now, heaven is about to respond to every lie spoken about you. And when it does, the same people who tried to block your blessing will watch it be handed back to you in full. Not because of revenge, but because of restoration. Because justice in heaven looks like grace for the faithful. And you, beloved, have remained faithful in ways no one even noticed. But God noticed. And I noticed. And now everything is about to shift. My child, my beloved, you must promise me, do not ignore this. Do not silence the stirring in your spirit. Do not delay. If you skip this moment, you will walk into a season with blind eyes. But if you act now, you will walk with favor that no one can deny. Your time is now. Your calling is now. The exposure is now. The divine reversal is now. But it begins with obedience. Heaven is watching. The clock is ticking. The portal is open, but it will not stay open. And Jesus is not just whispering. He is commanding, open your eyes, child. Open your heart and open this message before the next 15 minutes are gone. My child, my beloved, what you are feeling right now, the trembling in your spirit, the sudden stillness around you, the way your heart is pounding harder than before, it is not fear. It is recognition. Deep within you, your soul knows this message was meant to find you. You are not reading by accident. You were drawn here by divine alignment. Because something in the unseen realm has shifted. A veil has been pulled back. And what was once hidden from your sight is now standing in full view before heaven. God has been watching, and I, Archangel Michael, have been standing on guard, waiting for the exact moment to deliver this message without interference. That moment is now. And if you don't act on what you're hearing, beloved, you may lose something so precious, it could take years to recover. Because what is moving toward your life is not small. It's not ordinary. It is life-altering, both in danger and in blessing. And heaven is giving you the final call before the door swings open and cannot be closed again. My child, my beloved, let me take you back for a moment to the last time something you loved disappeared suddenly, to the last time you trusted someone who ended up using that trust as a weapon. Do you remember the pain? Do you remember how alone you felt? Do you remember crying and asking God why He didn't warn you? The truth is, heaven did try, but the noise around you was louder than the whisper of protection. This time will be different because this time God isn't whispering. He is shouting through this message. This is your warning. This is your rescue. This is your one moment of divine clarity to stop what the enemy has been plotting in silence. Two people, one plan, and your destiny hanging in the balance. But God in His mercy has released this message to intercept the destruction and rewrite the outcome. Time is up. You heard the truth. Now, seal your spiritual subscription. Type Amen here. This is your covenant response, your act of aligning with this divine frequency for permanent protection and reversal. This is the final step. Subscribe your future now. Type Amen.